Okay, knowing German language mostly as an immigrant gives you that bilingual or multilingual opportunity, which gives you a competitive edge above people, which also ranks you high in the society, given the fact that you are a German product. So you are also being highly ranked, just like the German standard.
So you've probably heard about the German way. You know, the kind of quality that Germans are known for, the way they think, the way they do things. So today I'm super, super excited because we have an amazing speaker, an amazing guest who's going to be talking to us about the German way and how learning the German way, learning about the German language can really help you to set up your child for success, set them up for leadership, even thinking about moving to Germany and the benefits of moving to Germany. So please watch, please listen. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this resonates with you. And of course, if you have extra questions, leave them below and we'll be sure to respond as soon as we can. Thanks. Thanks so much for watching. All right, Iheoma, can you briefly introduce yourself and explain your background?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Iheoma Obasi. I'm a Nigerian, born and married in Imo State, and I currently live in Germany. So I came to Germany some years ago, around 10 years ago. And I have my family here. I have my husband and my kids here. I currently work as a consultant, focusing on living and working in Germany for immigrants. I am also an intercultural trainer on topics like intercultural communication, unconscious bias, and living and working in Germany as an immigrant. I am also a language tutor and
Oh my.
currently founder of Learn German with Iheoma. It's an online platform for German language.
Awesome. Wow, you're so busy. You have a lot going on.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So, what are some common reasons like families would consider moving to Germany?
Yeah. Germany is a very beautiful country. And outside the natural beauties of the German language, Germany is highly organized, quite organized. Germany has also one of the best educational systems, and also not only the best, but also one of the cheapest. So basically, studying in Germany is cost as little as nothing when compared to other bigger countries like the US, the UK. Going to school, education in Germany is quite cheap. Another basic thing in Germany is the social security, the social amenities. And so in Germany, you can actually especially if you have the document. And now it's almost important, very important to add that these things are not open to everybody. When you get into Germany and get integrated and you perchance lose your job due to unseen circumstances, Germany fits and provides a roof over your head. And it is compulsory because they believe it is in the real law, the natural law that every human being must have a food on his table and a roof over his head. And Germany takes that very serious. Another very beautiful
Wow.
aspect of German and the German system is their health system. Germany has a very good health system that is also very cheap, costs little to nothing if you are insured. So the German insurance is beautiful, well organized. Basically, the normal insurance, not the private, the normal public insurance can get you the best quality health system in Germany. And I think that is what is attracting people to Germany because, and that is also not forgetting the work. There's a lot of work opportunities in Germany. So forget about people who
Wow.
say, no, there's no job in Germany. No, there is job in Germany. There is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So great education, great healthcare, great work opportunities. I
Correct.
mean, I'm just thinking about it and just like so excited to learn more. So if
Yeah.
families are thinking about moving to Germany, they're coming with their children, what is the first step? What is the first thing they should be thinking about?
Um, if you're coming to Germany, you have to have in mind that Germany is an English speaking country, first and foremost. So if you have it in mind, especially coming from an English speaking country, Germans are so proud of their German language and they take it very seriously. Having that in mind, you should also know that if Germany is not an English speaking country, then you have to learn the language. So there is no two ways about it. If you're thinking of relocating to Germany, it's very important that you learn the language. And if you can, start the basic German language before coming in. So why do I lay emphasis on this German language? It's because I am in the system, not only as an immigrant living here, but as a consultant who works with immigrants. I can categorically tell you that all the forms you fill in Germany is in German. Your basic life in Germany is in German. So the conversation starts from all the offices. Uh, Things are getting better now. There are so many sites where you have access to translation, but the core German life happens in German language. So you cannot
Wow.
avoid it. So language is the first thing. The second thing is to bear in mind the cultural life of the Germans. So what do I mean by that? Germans don't live our communal life, especially with everybody. So they have their personal space and they have the official space. And these two spaces are distinguished and stay on their own. So Germans are more of um, in the official life and they separate these two lives. So that makes them distant from you until they allow you into their private space. So that officiality, keeping things official, not crossing your boundaries, should be in your mind. And that also brings us to the point where people say they are not friendly. They are, they are, they are still respecting your individual life, waiting to be invited into your personal space. And until that happens, they keep their distance, which also tends to make us describe them as not being friendly. So from the aspect of coming to Germany with your kids, you should understand that children are priority in Germany. So when you're in Germany, you give birth to them, but they don't belong to you. They belong to the state, making it paramount that they should be taken properly care of and accounted for. I lay emphasis on being accounted for. So you don't just wake up one morning and say, hey, Mama and God, look after my children, let me go to the market. Things are not done that way. So if you want to do something and you don't have that help, you should plan and organize what and who takes care of the children when you are not there. And it should be accounted for and explained properly. Otherwise, it is termed negligence from your side as a parent who is looking after the government property living in your house. So you have it in your mind that the children are being taken proper care of. The next point is also our method of grooming is quite different from theirs. So most times our method of grooming, our shouting and screaming method, luckily for us, our system is getting better. When I mean the system, I mean the Nigerian system. The current parents are doing better than the older parents who used force to groom. So things are getting better now. But also in Germany, the grooming process is more tender. So in Germany, children have rights and laws and are allowed to air their opinion, and those opinions are being discussed on. So those things should be in your mind when you're coming into Germany.
Oh my goodness. Man, I was just listening and I was just so curious and excited about different things. One, the pride in their language and their culture.
Yeah,
I love that. As someone who was originally from the Benin Kingdom, I really love the Benin Kingdom and I wish we could hold on a little bit more. I wish we could hold on to quite a few things. So I love that idea. I love having structure and I love that children are so valued. I always talk
exactly.
about the connect to influence instead of always yelling and forcing. Connect with children, knowing that these are human beings and stuff. So
Exactly.
I really
Yeah.
like that it's cherished
And
in Germany.
I want to point out that um, this laws and privileges to children they learn them in the school. So it's not something you say I shared them from it. No, you cannot really shade them from this process. They learn it from the school. The children here knows at what age they have the right to this, at what age is the law governing them to this, at what age. So if you do not acquit yourself with the system and understand the process, you see yourself being at loggerhead with children who have learned a different process in school, and the conflict of what is being learned in school and what is happening at home um, arises, and there is need for you as a parent to read up, um, update yourself, and find a balance between the two. I wouldn't also want to say that our method of grooming children, our method of raising kids are bad. I wouldn't want to say that. All I'm trying to say is that when you get into a system, you find a balance that works for both sides so that you do not throw away your personal morals of where you're coming from, and also raise the children in the system where you don't have problem with the system and still hold your morals. And finding this balance is always difficult for most immigrant parents. I also suffered them myself.
Wow, wow. I can only imagine because it's a new system, you're not used to it, you yourself, you're transitioning, you're trying to help your children transition. So I can only imagine. So I'd say based on your experience, what are some tips that you would share that would help children adjust to a new life in Germany?
Yeah. Um, the first tip is to expose the children as early as possible to the German language. It is been is a known fact that children learn a new language faster. I think it is proven that a child can learn 7 languages as a child at the same time and very fast. So the language learning becomes more difficult as one progresses as an adult. But for the kids, they pick faster. So expose the children as early as possible to the German language, depending the age where they are. Pre-nursery, nursery school, um, at best at the nursery, so that they get used to the speaking and the writing and will not have a problem when they get to the primary schools. Another aspect that really helps to integrate children into the German system is exposing them to activities. Sports activities like football, swimming, there is a lot of them. In Germany here, we call them Vereins. So you expose them to Veranstaltungen and Vereins, where they meet other children of their age learn faster because languages are learned faster when you interact with the people speaking it. And then they also make friends because first friends are found in schools and then in those activities when exposed to. And that way they are not lonely for a long time. And when you find people that you have the same interest with, friendship develops faster. So activities, language is always at the first position, activities is in the second position. And another thing is allow your children to participate in the cultural activities. So there are a lot of cultural activities. We have them at home. Christmas activity, Easter holiday, excursions. Allow your children to participate in these activities wherever you find yourself. Go out to Christmas activities, especially here in summer period. There's a lot of activities because the sun is out, everybody's out. There is a lot of things to do. Allow your children to participate in such things. It helps them understand the environment they are in. It helps them learn the German culture. It also helps them make friends, like I've said before, and it also helps them learn the language faster. And even you too. It's not only about the kids, it's also about the adults. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So learn the language, get involved in community, do things
Correct.
that are fun and all of those things. That's so awesome. So
Yeah.
like let's go back to learning the language.
Mhm.
You mentioned kids can learn the language so much more quickly, but what are some strategies? What are some effective methods for helping children to learn the language?
Yeah. In the German system, the languages are taught without structure in the basic classroom, like the same way we teach our children, they look at us and imitate us. That is how languages are taught in the nursery, pre-nursery. So the teacher speaks and the children imitate. And that is also the same way the children learn from us as parents. We speak and they imitate. They say it wrong over time and they start getting it right. That's the same way children are being taught. The higher they grow, they are being exposed to children's book with pictures. So children's book with pictures. They start learning the picture description using the German language, a very powerful method. Another good method is listening. Listening to children program, children music. There's quite a lot of them. Luckily for us in our generation, there is YouTube. And YouTube is your free teacher. And anything you cannot find, I think the only thing that is not found in YouTube is a human being. Who knows? Maybe we'll find one. so, so you can actually find everything on YouTube, from singing to hearing the music to books to animations. Really, there is a lot of places where these informations are being found, especially for the kids. The book is good. And another way that helps the children learn faster is for you to read for them. And if you have to read for the children in the German language, you also need to know how to speak the language, which is we cannot avoid speaking about the language. And that is why I kind of have this passion. That is the passion in this language. Your whole life revolves around the language because I saw somewhere they said man kann nicht kommunizieren. One cannot not but communicate. So that is even why we have the sign languages. That is how important language is, that even the people that cannot speak have their own method of communication. So you cannot but not communicate. And you have to communicate in German, in the German language.
Yeah. So I get it. It's so important. It's very important to communicate in the German language. So how would you respond to people like they're so nervous, maybe they know their native tongue. Like for me, maybe I understand Edo, I understand English, and I'm so nervous that what if I don't know how to say it? What if I pronounce it wrongly? What if I'm trying to say Duncan and I say Duncan or whatever I'm trying to say. I remember the word for butterfly is like Vogeliferber or something, and I don't say it right, and then I get in
Yeah,
trouble. Like, how do you respond to those kinds of people?
yeah. It's right. It's all right to be nervous. I think it's not, let me say, it's natural to be nervous. And it's also as natural as it is to be nervous, it's also natural to make a mistake in a language that is not your mother tongue. So when people say in Nigeria, English is not our language, I completely agree. It's not our mother tongue. So please permit yourself to make mistake. And please accept that mistake is going to be your best friend until you get better. So when I started learning German language, I had these issues. I I picked every other aspect of the German language and avoided the speaking because I had a very heavy Nigerian accent that does not come good. It does not combine very well with the German language. Then I'm so a perfectionist. I had so much fear of making the mistake until I got to the point where I understood that if you don't speak this language, everything you know is equal to zero. So I developed some mantra, and one of those mantra is that German language is not my mother tongue, not my second language, not even the third, and I am allowed to make as much mistake as I wish until I get better. So be brave enough to speak because you can only make corrections when you make mistakes. When you avoid mistakes, you avoid corrections. So the only way is to speak. And the fastest way to learn how to speak is to interact, make contact, leave the house, come out, meet people, and it doesn't matter where. Go to language school. There are a lot of apps, free apps. There are a lot of books. Listen to German televisions, listen to German radios, listen to them speak, imitate them speak. Pick the words, grow your vocabulary daily, and it's one step at a time, and you will get there. We all started with hello, and years after, we are proficient. We are speaking, doing presentations, and working in 100% German environment. So it can be done. I am a witness that is doable.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned books and apps and YouTube. Do you have any that you would recommend specifically? Do you have any, like, maybe names of one or two or three resources that people can just like pick up or sign up for?
Um, yeah. I almost every material used in the German language have their own app. So, for example, those who are studying German outside the confines of the German language write an exam that is called Goethe exam. Goethe Institute is the external body that is responsible for preparing students, preparing anybody who wants to learn the German language. They also have a learning app. And I think to an extent, these apps are free to a large extent. So you can actually start using them free. You can find them on Google Play or on the internet online. Then within Germany here, there is also a body that is responsible for the German exams. It is called TELC, T-E, TELC, T-E-L-C. And TELC also have free materials for the grammar, for the hearing, and also a free app. There is also a book that is called Huber. Huber also have free apps. So there is a lot, as much as materials that are in the market are also as much as the German language. There is a whole lot of apps. There is an app for beginner, there is an app for intermediate, there is app for listening, there is app for the grammars, there is app for exercises. There is 1,001 of them on the internet. And if you don't know where to start, YouTube is always the basic and the best place to start. So there is so many of them. And I'm talking of free apps that can guide you to start. There are so many of them that also help in preparing you for the exams. And people like us are also there to offer the services, tell you the best, help you where you're having issues, help you with the corrections, put you on the right path. And yeah, so there is help to do these things. And basically from the comfort of your home. That is even what makes it more interesting. All you just need is an internet and laptop or your phone to make that happen.
Wow, that's awesome. So here, as I'd say, like as Africans, as Nigerians, we really want the best for our children. We want them to learn what they need to learn, the skills, to know the right people, all of that, to be leaders wherever they go, to be leaders in however they choose to be leaders. So in your experience or your opinion, how is learning German or living in Germany going to help these children to be global leaders? Because a lot of times when we think about, oh, leadership, okay, maybe they should go to America. Oh, they should go to the UK or something like that. What do you think as far as Germany? Because I have a lot of respect for Germany. I visited once when I was a kid, and it was just so amazing to see how organized everything was. So, what would you say that can help with helping your child to be a leader, whether it's learning German or whether it's moving to Germany?
Yeah, Germany is known for their standards. They have quite high standards that any machine that is bearing made in Germany is built the best. So Germany is known for their high standards, and they are also known to be the home of autos, cars. The Mercedes, the Volkswagen, and all of them, they are in Germany. So Germany has really placed itself very high in among the most developed worlds, and can really rank high shoulder in shoulder with the US and UK and all the rest of the world countries. German language is also now one of the most sorted. When we talk of English, French, maybe Mandarin, Chinese, we look at the German language as one of the most sought languages because of their development and because of their interest in mechanics, and they are really advancing in the technological space. German language now becomes most sorted in the outside world. And I also believe that being bilingual is a gift, is an added advantage to everybody. And it's now not only peculiar to German language. Being bilingual, being English and Francois gives you an edge above somebody who only speaks one language. So, okay, knowing German language mostly as an immigrant gives you that bilingual or multilingual opportunity, which gives you a competitive edge above people, which also ranks you high in the society, given the fact that you are a German product. So you are also being highly ranked, just like the German standard. You also have a high rank in the standard because their school systems are well organized, well designed. Germany is high not only in the classroom but also in the handwork. So Germany takes their vocational sector very serious, very serious. And it is always being preached that handwork is always the best, and Germany trains the best handwork. So when you speak German language and the ideas or the experiences people have with the high standard of the Germans, you are always a stage above. So bringing it down to the immigrant outside the standard age, competitive age, as an immigrant, you're kind of building a bridge across societies. So I know so many Nigerian born Germans or German Nigerians who have their kids in Germany, who has gone home, taking home the language, the structure they have learned in Germany, taking home the German culture, and from culture, and I mean the societal structure encompass, and taking it home into the Nigerian system, and they are doing very well. So building this bridge across societies, across countries, taking the culture from one place is like transpollination, where you pick the best from one place and take it to the other place. It's amazing what it has done to our society. And the global world has also made us a village, that you don't necessarily need to be there to make your impact. And the more language or the more exposure you give yourself, the more advantage you have in this global village. So that is
Mm.
my take.
Wow, that's awesome. Just knowing that German is a highly sought out language,
Yeah.
knowing that just the way of thinking, the methodology, like just imbuing that changes like the way you think and the way you approach success. And you can be successful almost anywhere because you've learned that way of living. That's amazing. I'm so glad that you shared that. Okay, so one thing I was kind of thinking about when you were talking about how Germans separate personal and work life and how there could be like a challenge there is like what worked for you? Like when you got there and you noticed, okay, you're working with these coworkers or this boss, and it might feel a little bit cold, maybe coming from a different, from Nigeria where everybody's like, oh, how's your family? How's your mom? How's your dad? All of that. So
Yeah.
what worked for you as far as getting more integrated so that you could pull them or entice them into coming into your personal life and they could um, welcome you into their personal lives as well?
Yeah. So when I came to Germany, I experienced a lot of culture shocks, which is which happens to everybody who moves from one society. And sometimes when we talk about culture shock, we think culture shock will only happen when you leave the Nigerian system. I think the first culture shock I experienced was when I went for my NYS in Nigeria. So I went from the east, I went from the east to the north, and it was a different ball game. And but we never had these terminologies, we never had these definitions, and we kind of after a while got along. So it also happened in Germany. So after a while, I learned this process. It was irritating. At the beginning, it was when you stay with your neighbor and you see yourself not knowing your next door neighbor, and you come with your inquisitive Nigerian life of wanting to know what every other person is doing, and also your bubbling Nigerian life of always saying hello, and people look at you like, please say hello to me only when you know me. And you you kind of adjust. You When you understand a system, it happens everywhere. You kind of understand, and then you adjust, you assimilate into the system, and you adjust. And so what makes it interesting and funny at the same time is that when you have now adjusted into the system, and then when you go home, you have a problem. so, so when you go home, you have an identity problem. You really don't know who you are. You kind of want to have those two spaces, and people are like, where are you coming from? From whom? I and they're like, don't come into my room until I ask you, who the hell do you think you are? And my auntie will always scold me and say, even if you built the house, are you so it's you understand the system. So I deviated. You understand the system, and then you adjust to the system, and you respect people's opinions, and then you go out and make friends. So you find those friends. Most of your first contacts and friends are found in the language school because that is the first place, your first port of call. And you meet people there and you make friends with them. And as you keep going, you go to work. You will always find one person who likes you, and the contact keeps growing. Your children goes to school, they meet other children. There is home visit, and you get to know their parents, and your circle starts widening, and everybody has his or her place. Some are quite close, some at a distance, but not official. Some are in between. So, in summary, when you understand a system, you adjust to how the system works and become part of the system. So that is basically what I did. So I kind of
Mm.
understood the system, and I respected their opinions and I just said, so I have some quite close German friends, and I have some working friends who work in the same environment. And I also have some people who are also on the official level. And when we see, we are 100% official. And it is fine that way. So I have a neighbor who is interested in talking to me, and we say hello. And I have the other one who minds his business, and it's also good. It no longer bothers me. And I also don't read meanings behind why it is like that. Like before, where I would always assume that the neighbor hates me or is a racist. Sometimes it's not that. They just don't
Right.
want. Yeah.
Right. That's so amazing. That's also the power of exposure. And
Yeah.
I think also one of the important things about becoming a leader is knowing that there are different cultures. So what is normal for you can be offensive to somebody else. So like somebody like me, I want to take a walk and say hello to everybody. And my neighbors might be offended because they're
Yeah.
like, why is she so into my space and into my
Yeah.
bubble and stuff? So um I think
One,
that's really
yeah.
important.
Yeah. One funny
Go ahead.
thing is in Germany, Sundays are our quiet days. So in Sunday, you're not allowed to play loud music. You're not allowed to make any form of noise. And Sunday is a bubbling day in Nigeria. Sunday is the day where we make the loudest noise. We play the loudest music because we are home and everybody's home. Sunday is the most party days. And Germany, Sunday is as dead as Sunday is one of the days you can play football on the highway here in Germany because it's a quiet day. Nothing is open. No supermarket is open. You really want to get something, you can only find it in the petrol stations, fuel stations, and if you don't find it in the fuel station, then you have to wait till Monday. So for me, it, it was a number. I think that was one of the things that really took me time to understand that even in Sundays, you cannot even go to the car wash and wash your car because the nozzle that washes car is noisy and nobody wants that noise. So, yeah.
That, that there is something to be said for that though, and the power of resting. Everybody resting, everything resting. It's not always go, 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 And I think
Exactly.
it takes a really confident and powerful organization and nation to be able to
Mhm.
say we're going to stop
Yeah,
everything that builds the like some that's supposed to be producing income because we trust that when you rest on this day, you'll have the energy to make even more money on the other day. So I think there's
exactly.
something powerful there. Um, I want to be mindful of your time. So one, Do you have any success stories that you would share about children thriving after moving to Germany or after learning the language, or parents thriving? Any success stories? Because I know you teach lots of people.
Yeah, I really drew my strength from some people who I knew that came to Germany before me, um, and who really learned the language, went to school here, and they are doing very well. So, and that was my strength. That gave me the confidence and the strength to say, if they could do it, you can. And that was how my journey to the German language really began. And when I came to Germany, I couldn't speak one word German. So, and I really learned the German language from beginner to proficiency level. So, in Germany, we say from A1 to C1. So C1 is the proficiency level where you can now study in Germany in German language. So I learned German from proficiency, from basics to proficiency level, and I did my master's degree in Dutch. So my master's degree was not in English. My master's degree was in Dutch. And
Wow.
I can tell you immediately I finished my master's degree in management consulting, the doors to work opened.
Wow.
And it is, and it's not only me. There are a lot of people who have gone this way, who not only went to the university, who went the vocation way, the vocational way, because like I said before, Germany lays a lot of interest and weight behind the vocational jobs, and the jobs we really overlook and don't take serious in Nigeria, like electrical jobs, plumbing, carpentry works, they are highly rated in Germany. And people who have gone through that method, who has gone through that, my husband went through the vocational job and he is doing very well. He did a vocational job here in Germany and he is thriving in industrial mechanism here in Germany. And there are so many people who have gone that way and who have built a beautiful life also here in Germany. So the language opens you up to opportunities, opens you up to going to school. And because of the German standard, they believe that whatever they have produced, including you, they believe in you. So once, like we say, once you go through the furnace of Germany, they believe in your ability to succeed. So they open their doors for you. You get into the jobs, and there are a lot of people who are doing very well, who owns their own companies in Germany, who are working in high offices in Germany, who are in all fields, and I mean basically in all fields of life. We have Nigerian doctors, a lot of them working in German hospitals. We have a lot of nurses, the same way we have them in England. We have a lot of them who are working in German hospitals because they did their nursing vocation here. They are recognized and they are earning it. We have people who have gone the vocational way. We have people who have gone through the school way. The numbers are uncountable. When you look at the Nigerian community in Germany, and you look at the we have an African women's community here in Germany, and when you look at the caliber of people there, you know that people are really thriving in Germany.
Wow.
It's hard
Wow,
work, but
that's
they are really thriving. But the German system is not a loud one, so it's not the affluence package kind of life where the show off is there. But when you get into the systems, you know that people are making it here.
Hmm, that's amazing. So I'm just imagining someone listening to this will say, I need to connect with you. I need to connect with you. I need to learn from you. I need to invest in your services. So what are some ways that people can connect with you and reach out to you?
So I'm on all social media handles. I am on Instagram. I do hope maybe you would put my social media handles online.
Yes.
So I am on Instagram, on Facebook, um with the name Learn German with Iheoma. So my online platform is called Learn German with Iheoma. And the aim of this platform, I am a language tutor. The aim of this platform is to help our immigrants. So, immigrants like me who are having it difficult. German language is a difficult language, and who are having it difficult learning this language, especially as an adult who is juggling a lot of things. That is why I'm there. I have gone through this process. I have learned the process. I have cracked the code. I know how this learning of this language functions. I know how to help you manage the fears. I provide a conducive environment where you are allowed to make your mistakes without being ashamed of it, and correct these mistakes and go out more confident for yourself. So let's get it straight. I do not have an exam school. I have a language school that prepares you to go and register for the official languages. So what I do is to help you, prepare you in German language, and then you can confidently go and register for the exams. I am in all social media handles. You can DM me on Instagram, Facebook. You can as well, very importantly, join my Facebook group. My Facebook group, I I I dish out a lot of German grammaticals. I have a lot of where you read and learn German. I share a lot of things, experiences, exercises, depending on your stage, where you can actually participate. And I do the corrections, connect with you, know what the problem is, and we'll find a way to solve it. And my Facebook page is free. It has nothing to do with the courses I am offering. So it's a free page where you can actually join and start trying your hands depending on the level you are in. Yeah.
That's awesome. What is your Facebook group? What is the
My
name of it?
Facebook group, I am on all is on all social media handle with Learn German with Iheoma. So you can find my page, Facebook page, Learn German with Iheoma, Instagram page, Learn German with Iheoma, and my Facebook page is all Learn German with Iheoma, so that you don't go looking for so many things.
Okay, awesome. And we will post the links as well with the video. So that's amazing.
All
And
right,
I
thank you.
really like the idea. You said that some of your first friends in Germany will be your friends in the language school. So I can only imagine as they're connecting with you, they're also making friends within that community of other people that are taking your program.
Yes.
Um, so that's super exciting. Do you have any upcoming projects that people might can sign up for, or do you just say just connect with me on social and I'll let you know what
Yeah,
any
so
upcoming
gradually.
projects?
Yeah, so when
Mm-hmm.
I started Learn German with German, I was working and I was also running the language school. And because languages are better learned in groups, I had some small groups that I could manage, run my home up front, also work and manage language. And it was a lot to combine. And because I believe language is better learned in groups, that way we run a conversation within ourselves, make our mistakes and correct it. So at the moment, I am trying to automate. So I am in the process of automating my work so that we can accommodate, because the people requesting is more than I can manage in the small groups. So I have a lot of requests because people who I have offered these courses, they still want to come back. I get a request every day. When are you starting a new course? When are you doing this? When are you getting this? I finished A1. I want to do A2. When are you starting A2? I want to write B1 exam. When are you coaching me? And 24 hours is becoming too small to manage all those things and still run my home. I have three beautiful kids, and I am a mom who is working full time. So I am automating my program now so that it can accommodate more people. So we are in the process of automation and the process of building the website, in the process of channeling things, structuring the business so that we can attend to more people who need this help. I wouldn't want to say a date now, and we don't meet it up because I am not working alone. I have a lot of hands here and there who are working. So we make rooms for uncertainties. I would only say I'm looking at September, October-ish, and hope that before then the whole process is through. So please follow me on my social media handles. And as soon as this information is ready, you will be the first to get it, and you will be among the first because the offers are really limited. I have a lot of people in the waiting list, so people coming from the outside will get a limited offer, and the class is not going to be too crowded because it's not also not about putting 50 people and not being able to manage them. It's language, it's intensive. So I need a number that I can manage, and at the end of the day, at the end of the program, at the end of the period, they go home happily. So please follow up, and I will really keep you posted.
All right. Okay. So we will share your handles. And please, if you're watching this and you're really interested, connect with Iheoma. She's awesome. She has such a warm, friendly personality. And I'm just so glad that we're able to connect with her. So Iheoma, thank you so much for your time today. I learned so much. I've always been fascinated with the German culture. And thank you for just giving me that perspective. And just giving all of us that perspective. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much. I am so happy. I'm so happy doing this and any other time. There is a lot to share. Unfortunately, we don't have so much time, but there is really a lot to share. I'm so happy doing this with you, and I'm so happy you invited me here. And thank you so much for the opportunity.